Checkpoints is presented by pharmaceutical company GM Pharma.
Under the leadership of Prime Minister of Georgia, Irakli Garibashvili, a meeting of Cabinet of Ministers was held in the government administration. The press service of government disseminates the information. According to their reports, the members of the government discussed three issues, among which was the draft decree of Government of Georgia on the approval of the targeted state program for the resettlement of homeless large families in difficult living conditions. Within the framework of the program, the state will provide living space to 1,000 families in difficult living conditions. The total budget of the program is 50 million lari. The goal of the program is to support socially vulnerable homeless families with many children and create decent living conditions for them. The beneficiary of the program can be a family with 3 or more minor children, all members of which are registered in the Unified Database of Socially Vulnerable Families of Social Service Agency. The program can be used by families whose members are not registered in the Single Electronic Database of IDPs, Eco-Migrants and Livelihood Provision Agency. Also, if the homeless family members has not already received a living space from the state or appropriate monetary compensation for purchasing a living space. After evaluating these and other criteria, the relevant commission will decide on the issue of housing the families. The program will last until the end of 2025. The resettlement of the families will be carried out in many administrative territorial units of Georgia. It's mentioned in this spread information. Georgian Health Minister Zuro Bazarashvili on Monday said the ministry was ensuring daily monitoring of oncological and other medical drugs in the domestic pharmaceutical market. According to the minister, pharmaceutical companies will fine 35 million lari for conspirating to keep artificially inflated prices on oncology medicines funded within the state program, a decision they could appeal in court. As he noted, special bases had been carried out for the purpose of monitoring the ongoing prices of the drugs. The fact is quite clear of concentrated actions of these companies against our country to pay much more money from the budget based on artificially increased prices, he said. Azarashvili added in the violations meant consumers had been left without medicines as the 3 and 4 times increased price had resulted in premature expenditure of limited state funds designated for the medicines. He said he hoped the strict response from the authorities would mean violations of the kind would not be repeated, and added provision of oncological medicines had begun to be gradually taken over by the state from this year. Over 12,000 employees of Tbilisi public kindergartens will receive wages increased by 15% from this month, Tbilisi Mayor Kahakaladze announced at the municipal government meeting. These are people engaged in crucial time-consuming and responsible work. Their salaries are very low, therefore the decision was made to increase their pay by 50%, Kaladze said. Upon the decision of Georgian government, wages from employees of public institutions increased by 10% in 2023. Late in 2023, passenger flow at Tbilisi International Airport exceeded the indicators of 2022 and 2019. TAV Georgia, the operating company of Tbilisi and Batumi International Airports, explains that in December 2023, Tbilisi International Airport served 303,000 passengers, which was 37% more than the data of the same month of 2019, and compared to the data of December 2022, it was a 60% increase. As for Batumi Airport, the airport served 28 passengers in the same period, which was 13% less than the figure of same month last year and 9% more than the data of same period of 2019. Georgian Health Ministry started issuing medicines for patients diagnosed with cancer. Beneficiaries of the state health care program will receive the needed amount of Swiss-produced medication for free. Georgian Health Ministry purchased 13 medicines for oncology disease from Russia, a leading pharmaceutical company. The Health Ministry signed a contract with Russia in November 2023 and continues negotiations with other leading pharmaceutical companies to make medicines more accessible for Georgian patients. Additionally, the Ministry of Health has broadened the range of medications available for chronic illness and has allocated a large budget to the program. This will enable up to 400,000 individuals to receive full financial coverage for their chronic disease treatments. Georgian Post claims that rates have increased by 15% on average. Georgian Post responds to the targeted campaign against the company in the media and social networks on the change of tariffs. The company explains that the tariff have increased by 15% on average due to the economic conditions and capital expenditures required to implement quality postal service by good international standards. However, we emphasize that Georgian Post continues to operate with the lowest rates in the market. It said in a statement of the post office. The cost of delivery of up to 2 kilogram parcels to the address has increased from 8 lari to 19 lari. If the consumer decides to take parcel from the service center, he has to pay 14 lari. According to 2022 financial report of Georgian Post, the company's income decreased by 23 million lari in 2022, amounting to 71 million lari. In addition, the loss of Georgian Post also increased in 2021. It was 1.1 million lari. In 2022, the loss reached 12 million lari. Kakakaladze, the mayor of Tbilisi, on Wednesday said the Georgian capital had never had a budget like the 2024 financial plan that involves spending 1.96 billion lari for needs of the city. Kaladze explained the city hall had carried out some funds from work started last year into the new plan to comprise the figure, and added last year's budget had been fulfilled by 95%, while revenues were exceeded by about 100 million lari. Based on all these, 2024 budget, which had been approved in the amount of 1.96 billion lari, which will allow us to implement more important and successful projects for the city. I promise you that 2024 will be even more impressive for our city, he said. The mayor said representatives of relevant services of City Hall would work together with deputies of the City Council in distributing the funds in specific direction.
The Checkpoints is presented by pharmaceutical company GM Pharma.